So some of you that know me well know that there are two things about me that you probably hear a lot. Breathe is one of them. And the other one is live in the flow. And most people go, what does that really mean? I'm going to give you Esther Hicks's definition of what that is. The conscious, gentle guiding of your thoughts in the general direction of the things that you desire. I want you to hear that again. It's called allowing. The conscious, gentle guiding of your thoughts in the direction of the things that you desire. So, I thought I was retired. Silly me. And about 4 years ago, I was sitting, we have a deck that overlooks the water, the Tennessee River, and it's just beautiful. And then I have an office on the third floor, and I have a little sitting area that's outside, and I was sitting out there doing some work, and all of a sudden my phone rings, and I saw Lynn Bennett on the thing, and I was like, why is he calling me? Okay. But I answered. I don't always answer. Sometimes I go, I'm not talking to that person. But I said, I'll talk to him. And he said, I know you're retired. I'm like, is that why you called me, to remind me that I'm retired? And he said, I'm wanting to know if you would be willing. I was like, to do what? And he said, would you be willing to join the ministerial team of CSLN and be a speaker once a month? And I said, I'm not a CSLN minister. He said, I know. I said, so is that okay? He said, that's fine with me, and it's fine with us. Would you be willing? And I said, well, let me think about it. Let me talk to my partner, Judy, and see what that looks like for us, but I'll think about that. So he was kind of persistent, and I kept marinating on it. That's something else you know about me. I tell people, go marinate on it for a while and see what comes up for you. And so I finally called him back, and I said, I believe I can do that. Well, that was about 4 years ago. And I've been here about every month, speaking once a month, sometimes a little bit more than that. And then about 7 months ago, I had first Etta, and then Lucia, and then some other board members that said, could you be our transitional director, because I could not be your interim minister because I'm not a CSL ordained minister. And I said, what does that look like? And we talked about that for a while, and I thought, okay, maybe I can do that too. So at the end of this month, I will have been doing that for 7 months, believe it or not. And I have loved every minute of it because of you, because of you, because of you, because of all of you, because I believe in what you do here, and I believe in not just what you do, but who you are at the essence of who CSLN is. And so when I began to think about what I would want, and I know I'll probably speak for you all a few more times. Who knows what will happen? But most of you know that I have taken the position for at least a year as the minister at Unity. And that may extend, I have no idea. I don't even try to tell the river what direction to flow at this point in time. I just go, okay, I'm here. I'll do whatever. But I believe that I got that idea of living in the flow from a woman that was one of the 13 indigenous grandmothers. And her name was, she's no longer in the body, but her name was Grandmother Aggie, Agnes Pilgrim Baker. And she came to my center, Unity of Music City, in 2019, along with a Lakota chief and his wife. And what I found out about the indigenous grandmothers is that there were 13 of them from across the planet. But Grandmother Aggie's whole focus was water and living in the flow. And so because my center was in Old Hickory, we did a lot of blessings over the lake there, Old Hickory Lake. We actually went over to the Hermitage and did a lot of blessings on those grounds. We did a lot of blessings, a lot of places. But one of the things she said that has stuck in my mind is that we are like those rivers. We can allow our thoughts to be good and positive and flow in that direction, or we can pollute our thoughts with negativity, and then that begins to flow. I want you to hear that again. Because when I heard her say that, I was like, oh, that's really what it's all about. We can allow our thoughts to flow through us like a river, with positivity, with love, with peace, with joy, or we can allow our thoughts to become negative and to pollute. And do you know what we're polluting? Us. We're causing dis-ease within our own body, mind, and soul. If I say dis-ease quicker, you know what that makes? Disease. I won't even go into that talk. That's a whole different talk. But when I began to understand that it's for me to live in the flow of this energy and to say yes, I began to live my life a little bit differently because I'm like, what does that really mean for me to say yes? Does it mean I have to say yes to everything? So again, I want you to hear this definition. The conscious, gentle guiding of your thoughts in the general direction of the things that you desire. Is there anybody here that does not desire love? What about peace? What about joy? So, I like sometimes for you to have conversations with people. So someone sitting close to you, have a conversation with that person about how you are allowing the flow in your life. Go. So we believe that there's oneness, right? We do. And then some of you may remember, probably 2 years ago or more, that I had a lesson with you all about the 7 universal principles from the Kabbalion. And one of those principles is on polarity. Polarity means that there are opposites in our world. There is hot and there is cold. There is light and there is dark. There is male and there's female. There's many polarities. And so what I want you to begin to think about is that is true, so how do we find our oneness in those polarities? Has anybody in this room other than me noticed that there's a lot of polarity going on out in the world right now? A little? A lot? A whole lot? And so what I want you to think about in the conversation that you were having, how do you deal with these polarities? Because the polarities are all really the same. They're all about separation. And we say we believe in oneness, don't we? Until we find ourselves in a polar opposite position than somebody that we love, maybe somebody we don't even love, right? And then it's like we throw our teachings out the window because we forget that we are one. And so how do you allow the integrity of who you are as an individual to answer the call of what you're here to do and to say yes in the midst of all of this? How do you do that? I'm going to tell you a little story. Most of you know that I went to David Lipscomb. It's a very fundamental Church of Christ school. I went there at high school and college. And I still have some of those people that actually talk to me, believe it or not. even though they're not sure who I am or what I'm doing right now. And there's one particular guy that has reached out to me many, many times, and he wants to meet me when I'm in town, wants to have dinner with me, wants to have deep conversations about why I left the Church of Christ and why I would think that a woman could be a minister and why I think that I'm saved and that all of y'all and me are not going to hell. Yay, fun conversations, right? Polarities, big polarities. And so recently he reached out to me and he said, when are you going to be there? And I said, I'm there every weekend. And he said, oh, well, you've got to have dinner with me. Yay, Rah-Tootie, for that. I was like, oh, yay. So I met him. And immediately he wanted to start talking. Now that was just a few days ago. And I was preparing this lesson. And I thought, okay, I've got to pay attention here because I'm teaching myself what I'm getting ready to speak about on Sunday morning because I knew it was going to look like this, okay? I knew it was. And so he started talking and talking and talking and telling me all these things that were wrong with me and my beliefs and why I should be really worried about my soul and that I might go to hell and blah, 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 blah. You can only imagine. And I sat there and I just went, breathe, breathe, breathe. I just kept telling myself, Denise, breathe. It's okay. Breathe. Because I knew that there was some reason that he kept reaching out. What is it that he wants to know about me? And so he just kept talking, and when he said, I really believe that you and all of those people, he called you those people that you speak to on Sunday morning are all going to hell, I said, wow, tell me more. I don't know where that came from, but it didn't come from inside of me. I can promise you it came from up there. Like, whoo, Lord, mercy. And of course, he told me more. And what I said to him in the process is I said, I just want to hear what you have to say. I said, it's obvious to me right now you really don't want to know all that I might have to say. And so I'm just here to listen to you. And he started crying. And he said, no one's ever wanted to listen to me. There was something that began to happen there. I'm not saying that I've touched him on a deep level. I'm not saying he's going to walk through those doors and show up, although he might, because he knows I'm here. But I know that there was a moment in time when that circle was complete. We began to feel each other and hear each other. Is that not what we're here about? We're not about these polarities that happen in politics, in religion, in the way we live our lives, in what clothes we wear, or the way we have our hair, or whatever it's all about. We're here to remember this. So continue your conversation about how you deal with allowing yourself to be fully you when you find yourself right here. Go. We need to begin to change our Sunday morning model. I don't know what that looks like. I don't think any of us really 100% know what that looks like, but these are the conversations we need to be having. And you can't have them in pews looking at the back of somebody's head. I don't know what the future looks like, but I know that this community and Unity of Nashville is yearning for community, is yearning for connection with other people, is yearning to be here instead of there. Yearning, desire. Do you remember what it means to allow, to let the river flow? The conscious, gentle guiding of your thoughts in the general direction of the things that you desire. I don't imagine there's anybody in here that doesn't want to be right here. But it's the thoughts that we have inside our mind that do this. It's the thoughts. It's the words we choose to use in certain situations that do this. With the man that I was eating dinner with, I knew that I had to choose my words wisely because one misstep could have done this quickly. And I had a desire to connect. I had a desire to connect. So do you know what your desire is? Is your desire to be right? Or is your desire to be love? Is your desire to be right, or is your desire to have peace? Is your desire to be right, or is your desire to have a more joyous life? Is your desire to be right, or is your desire to be a part of a spiritual community? I know some of that because it's hard for people to hear because I've felt people suck the air out of the room already. So I'm going to say, breathe. I'm talking to myself. I'm talking to everyone in this room. If we believe that there is one love, one peace, one joy, oneness, we're all connected in that oneness, and then we choose to do this, we're not living in integrity. We have to choose. So in this moment, I am getting ready to call the practitioners that are here up on the stage with me. Because one of the things I wanted you all to experience today is not just me running off and you going, well, that was nice, where'd she go? And now who and now what? I wanted us to have a moment of what I'm going to call conscious completion. Because when I was hired by the board, they told me that we think that we can get everything done that we need to get done within 6 or 7 months. I said, okay, I can do that. Well, it is 7 months. We're not quite to the edge of all that yet, that we wanted to get done. And that's not wrong or bad. It just is what it is. And now there's going to be someone that I'm going to eventually work with closely for a few days when she comes in here, and you'll hear more about her in the town hall meeting if you stay. That I'm going to pass the baton to and say, here's where we are in this process. Here's all the circles that we've had. Here's all the information that we have gathered. Here's the themes that we've put out here for the last 6 or 7 months. And here's the speakers, and here's what we've been doing. And you all could give yourself a huge pat on the back because you've done a lot of deep, deep, deep work. And I want to also say the people that have been brave enough to be in the New Earth class, they're doing even deeper, deeper, deeper work. Because it's about ego. We get caught up in our egos right here and go, I know exactly how this needs to be, when really none of us know exactly how this needs to be. That's how it needs to be.
Welcome to the Sunday service at CSLN. We are a welcoming and inclusive community of inspired individuals caring for and about each other and the entire planetary family. The Center for Spiritual Living Nashville offers spiritual tools for anyone seeking a more fulfilled and meaningful life through a deeper connection with a higher power or universal truths. Be sure to subscribe below if you enjoy our programs.